Welcome back to the Bible Reading Project. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, Anxiety Part 3, helping you overcome the fear that hits everybody. I think if you're human, you understand anxiety and fear. Some people a lot worse, though. Others move on with life, but sometimes fear and anxiety can just cause you to get in a slump, get stuck, round and round you go, and where it stops, nobody knows. Controlling your life, your mood, your emotions, your marriage, your future, your finances, everything. So I'm trying to help you. Monday we looked at this. Every fear starts with a drip, a fear of something. And I have learned that anxiety and it taking over, meaning it begins to drive your day. You find yourself on Google, incessantly Googling, trying to find answers. It's off two things. Number one, it is, I'll put them together so it won't be two, it'll just be one, but with two parts to it. It literally is being unable to control the unknown. The truth about fear is that at the root of it is a loss of control. What's going to happen to my job? What if I get fired? That's that what if. That what if means you're admitting you're not in control of something. And anxiety, panic attacks, I'm not in control. Your mind tells you you're losing control. What if your kid is in a car wreck? What if my husband leaves me? What if my wife is cheating on me? What if my boss is going to fire me? And so because we come to a place of realizing we can never control the unknowns. It's impossible to control an unknown. So there is an aspect of fear where you are out of control and you use your energy to try to regain control, and that energy is called anxiety. So my opinion of anxiety is it's energy being expended to control what cannot be controlled. And that might be riddled with the word fear, like you're doing it out of your heart's palpitating and you're afraid. But oftentimes anxiety may not be altogether connected to fear as much as a loss of control. So I want to control my children. I want to control every detail of my life. And one thing we know about 2022, it's every day you wake up, it seems like things are out of control. And it only exasperates the problem even more. So what do we do to manage anxiety that may result in fear, panic attacks, heart palpitations, depression, just waking up, don't even want to wake up, I don't want to get my day going, I don't want to face another day, I cannot do this again and again, I keep repeating the same thing over and over. The news, the job, the stress, it's too much for me. I can't do this anymore. So what happens when we find ourselves losing control? Human nature is regain that control. So here's the issue though. It's a lie to think you can regain control of an unknown. So often, rather than really dealing with the root problem, the unknown is causing you anxiety. We try to fix that unknown. So I go back to, I Google, I YouTube, I try my best. I incessantly talk to people to try to figure it out. And then if that doesn't work, I medicate it. I drink. I take medicine for it. Because if I cannot control the unknown, what I'll do is try to control the panic, the depression, the fear, the torment. And we do that in different ways. I'll just keep myself really, really, really busy. If I keep myself busy, I don't even think about it. Or, dude, I have to drink. I mean, the drinking helps just calm me down. Or, I go on a binge eat, binge drink, binge watch, whatever I can do. Because the unknown is unfixable, I just medicate the known, the panic, the fear. But here's the issue is once the whatever I choose to medicate wears off, the unknown is still looming. So know this, no matter what your method of dealing with it is, Googling, YouTube, talking to people, binging something, excessive this or that, overworking, hoping it'll go away, lights out, laying in bed for hours because you're depressed and don't want to get out of bed because, whatever the because would be. It all just comes right back. As soon as the lights go on, as soon as the buzz wears off, as soon as the medicine is out of your system, as soon as you're so tired you can't work another hour and you're about to collapse and your marriage is suffering and your emotions are suffering and your children are suffering, we realize the same thing I've been afraid of is still right here, and it's simply that I cannot control the unknown. So, my wisdom today is, what do we do when we cannot control the unknown? You may get fired. You may lose your job. You may not be able to afford groceries. You may get an eviction notice. Your husband may file divorce papers. You may want out of your marriage. Your child may have a car wreck. The world could blow up. There could be no food. There may be no gas. There may be no America. Who knows? That unknown is always there. You could wake up any day and go, today could be the day. It's always there. It never goes away. What if is always there. And you can play that scenario over and over and over and over. It never goes away. And the reason we play it over and over, looking for other ways to control it, is we always tell ourselves there's another ending. It's like watching your favorite movie 40 times thinking that this time it ends differently. It never does end differently. It always ends the same way. So here's how I've combated the incessant desire to control the unknown, because I used to fear it. I used to get tense about it. I would pout anytime there was an unknown, or even go to God and go, I don't know, God, why won't you, like going to God like it's his problem. I'm facing an unknown. 2 scriptures that I pray enlighten you to how you can stop the heart palpitations, the anxiety, the frustrations, the fears of being out of control in the things you cannot control. Here they are. Ecclesiastes 3:11 is exactly what the old tattoo here is about. It's my favorite Bible verse. Listen to it. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 10, verse 11, and verse 12. I've seen the burden God has placed on us all, yet God has made everything beautiful in his own time. He's planted eternity in the human heart, but even so people cannot see the whole scope. Listen to this, verse 11, of God's work from beginning to end. It ranks as my top scripture in the Bible. It's very meaningful to me. It's meaningful for 2 reasons, is that if you really want to know how out of control you are over any situation, it will only be known and realized of how powerful that is in time. Time is what we're really dealing with. It's why we feel out of control. Something's not happening when we think it should happen, or might happen when it's not. And listen to what it says again. I'll read it one more time. God has made everything beautiful in his time. So when you're dealing with something in your life that's beyond your control, that's creating a stress, an anxiety, a fear, poor pitiful me, and you're just beating yourself up, your whole day is negative, your attitude is pitiful, it will be one thing, and I love what this verse says, and this is just my opinion on it. It says, because people cannot see the whole scope of God's work from beginning to end. I think that's it. I think the reason anxiety is so high in people is we don't understand the scope of time. Yes, there are going to be things that are unknown in your life that can create a challenge. But over a length of time, a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, decades, over time, there is a scope of God's work. And the reason I'm so anxious is I don't understand in the middle of this frustration, God is working. In the middle of this unknown that's looming over my life, what if I get fired? What if she leaves me? What if I don't have the money to pay rent? What if I can't make it? My husband left me. What if, I mean, just the whole what if again, right? So the issue becomes you will always obsessively try to control it with your energy, which is anxiety, to control the unknown, until you realize that in this time frame, God is at work, and He's going to work something beautiful. I don't know when, I don't know how. That's why it becomes very anxious. Well, when? How? When is this going to... You can't look at it that way. You have to not look at the uncertainty of when and how will God do this, but He is doing this. He's working in time. And there will be times that it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like He's even in the mix. Things are so bad right now. But this verse again, God is making your life beautiful. All things beautiful in a time frame. His scope of work from beginning to end. So one of the ways that I have learned to deal with anxious moments and to deal with unknown things is I've learned in the moment to go, it doesn't matter. I have no clue how this is going to work out. I have no clue how this is going to turn out to my good. But I'll tell you one thing I do know. It's going to turn out to my good because I'm looking at the scope of what God is doing, not the scope of what I don't know what I'm doing. So I just tell myself, no matter what it looks like, God is doing something. No matter how bad it looks, God is doing something. I'm not going to fear it. I'm not going to look at the unknown and go, I don't know. No, I'm going to look at the unknown and go, that doesn't bother me, because I know God has a scope of time, and in that time frame, He's working. The second scripture, everyone, if you're a Christian, pretty much knows it. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And this helps me as well. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God, and in this phrase, are called according to His purpose. One of the ways you deal with anxiety, one, God is doing something. He's working. And then number two, I just need to wake up and do His purpose. I need to realize there's a purpose on my life bigger than the problem. So how do we deal with anxious moments we cannot control? Number one, stop trying to control it and just know God is working for you. And number two, focus on His purpose today and not the problem. And if you'll focus on His purpose rather than your problem, and that He's working something even when you can't control it that will turn out to your good, anxiety will float wings and fly away. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.